This is my 1971 Ford Duple converted into a motorhome. Used to be a coach. It's running the 360T Ford engine, so it's 6-cylinder with a turbocharger. The reason for this video is the vehicle's just been recovered from Chiltern Automotive in High Wycombe, formerly known as Ward Jones, who are a classic commercial vehicle specialist. And they've had the vehicle for a couple of years, basically because during lockdown the clutch had seized itself onto the flywheel, so I couldn't select gears. So being that I haven't got the heavy equipment to do that sort of work, I had it recovered to Ward Jones for the clutch to be replaced. Now, this is the inspection panel, and this is the gearbox. Now, looking at the gearbox, as you can see, it's pretty filthy. So, my question is, did they actually remove the gearbox? You've got the drive shaft, and all the bolts on that drive shaft look like they've never been off, haven't been off for years. There's a screw sat there. If they've had the gearbox out, can't imagine that would have sat there for long. And we'll go underneath in a minute and I'll have a look at some of the bell housing bolts just to see if we think they've been touched as well. So basically what I'm saying is I don't think they have replaced the clutch. One of the other jobs they did was rebuild the turbocharger. Now, this is the turbocharger down here, and again, as you can see, these bolts don't look like they've been removed. And again, I'm going to go underneath and be able to look better to see what's going on down there. So let's jump back out. I'm going to crawl underneath and we're going to have a look. Right, well, the vehicle has a solid drive shaft, so even if they took the gearbox out of the vehicle, they would have had to, or even if they just dropped it back a bit, they would have had to taken these bolts out. And she's an old vehicle, none of these bolts, in my opinion, have been taken off recently. I have to wiggle around the front now, so I can't get under the axle beam there. Gearbox bolts, again, don't look like they've been off for years. There's no notches on them. Maybe we can look better from that angle. no sign that any of those bolts have been removed for a while. Now, this is the turbo, and this is supposedly this has been removed, completely rebuilt and put back in. As you can see, it's leaking oil. The manifold bolts again don't look like they've been removed for a long time, and in fact those turbo bolts there are badly corroded here and here, which will again say to me I don't think that turbo's been off, and yet I've been charged for that turbo to be rebuilt. You'll also see one of the oil feed pipes here is bent incorrectly. Now, we still believe the turbo is the problem for the vehicle for running, so we'll have to strip it down and we'll have to see what we find.